So this week, another look at sort of differences between a 7'6" van and an 8-foot wide van. We've got a nice little gadget. We're going to look at some of the comments from last week's video. So we talked about first time caravans. So we'll have a quick walk around as we sort of get to the new ones that have just come in, and we'll look at what people started out with new vans. Now we had somebody that said they started off with a lovely, nice, fairly newish van for their very first van, which obviously is very nice if you can. A lot of people sort of tend to start on the older, so something like the little Godiva, bit older, where you can sort of dip your toe into the water. If you don't like it, you're not spent a fortune out, and you can normally sell that older sort of van for pretty much what you've bought for it, or you're not gonna lose a lot on it. So another one here, we picked up a 2002 Ace Jubilee Viceroy. 1970 Sprite Major. Wow. And they towed it with a little old Ford Cortina estate. Now a lot of the older generation will probably remember that actually you never used to think about the towing weights. You literally get into your little Mini, put a 2-ton Caravan on the back, and off you went down the road, and then nobody ever had any accidents or anything. I don't know what it was. I don't know whether it was just that the roads were quieter.
It's because you couldn't drive as fast in those days. The engines
I suppose, yeah. That 1.3, you could only do 20 miles an hour. You're never going to have an accident. The bloke on the boat was coming past you. So we've got some 2007 Lunar Quasar 462. Nice new one. So probably not a first time van, this one. It's the Bessicar Cameo by design 835 2022. It's going to go on at 29,995 on this one. So as we look around this one, and you'll automatically see huge, massive difference. 8-foot wide, so it really gives you a lot more space. So again, probably not an ideal van jumping into something like this as your very first van, unless you're going to put it onto a site, of course, and that would then work. But this is more of an upgrade. Sort of, these are getting on now for brand new around about 50,000–60,000 pounds.
Wow,
so
really? Very
expensive. And in a while, we've got Dean trying to put the legs down on this with a drill, but it's got automatic self-leveling, so that's coming up. We've moved the one Bessicar into place. I'm going to move the next Bessicar into place and get this round, and then Dean's going to get the legs down.
And he's gone.
So Dean's quite new. He's never seen one of these before. Normally I like to try and get them washed over on the side. What's he done? So this has got self-leveling system on, so it's all electronic. And this one, it's just trying to give it a front canyon. If you have a little tour around, and we'll have a quick look. So somebody with a little old Avondale Dart 2003. Some campsites. So Ladram Bay was a really nice site with good prices. So again, I'll see whether I can find a picture of that Ladram Bay. A little old Estrell Caramatic folding caravan. Somebody had us their first one. 2018 Luna Ultima. So that can't have been that long ago. Sterling Europa 540. A little Bailey Pageant Monarchs, a little Two-Berth 2007. And then upgraded to a Bessicar Cameo 580. Coachman VIP 545. They're now this apparently the first van, a bit of a nightmare. So a good range, and again it's first caravan 1983, a little 5-berth Monza, 640 kilograms unladen, 815 maximum. So that little Mini flew along with that. They could do 50 mile an hour in that one. So nice range of different vans there that sort of people have had, and as I say, not necessarily something like this where someone is going to jump in where you've got 2 ton, so a very heavy caravan, so you need a big heavy tow vehicle to tow it. You've got self-leveling, so we literally press a button and the legs come down. We've got all of the external 230 volt sockets, external barbecue point, external lockers, and reversing cameras on the back. This has got a little slide out or a little roll out awning on the side, so probably not in great condition by the looks of.
No, it looks a bit green, doesn't it?
It does. So but very nice van. So that's the 835 version, which is 8 foot wide. So let's have a look at the 635, which is a 7 foot version of this one.
Somebody must have taken that to Europe, mustn't they, with those stickers on the back of it?
Very possibly,
it's a big van to take it to Europe, isn't it?
Again, some of the smaller sort of towns and what have you around France. So this is the 635, and I keep going to say the 6 foot version, but it's 7 foot 6, so it's not the 6 foot version. Twin axle motor movers, so movers on all of the wheels. Again, we've got the external 230 volt sockets, external barbecue points. Very similar layout, but you can see almost immediately it's a lot narrower inside, isn't it? It feels a lot more sort of smaller and cosier. So again, the 8 foot wide is a bit more daunting when you tow. And we had somebody look at one of the best cars actually, and he says, how am I going to find towing it? How is it going to be? I've got a big car to tow it, but I've been used to towing my my van at the minute, so I don't know whether the 8 foot's going to be a big issue. It creates so much more room inside, but it's the towing aspect I'm not sure on. I said, well, yeah, to be fair, you are going to tell a difference. You are going to really notice a big difference. If you get on the motorway, you won't really tell, but as you get onto the smaller lanes, onto the little roads around sort of villages, etc., you can really tell a difference. But again, the first couple of times that you tow an 8 foot wide, you're going to be petrified and you're going to be thinking, what on earth have I done here? But the more that you tow it, the more it becomes normal, and the more that you get used to it, and the more that you actually forget about it. And
towing, you have to like be extra careful towing anyway, so
yeah,
you may as well just have it a bit wider.
Yeah, you've got to think about it, sort of a thing. So it's one of those, isn't it, that you can't just sort of forget that it's on the back. You've got to think about it. So if you're thinking about it being a normal van to an 8 foot wide, then obviously it is what it is. Tell the difference in that. Yeah, so washroom's quite a bit more cramped, isn't it? And then not quite as much room around the bed.
Yeah, I don't think you miss the room around the bed so much, but the washroom is quite a big difference, isn't it?
So yeah, definitely, I think if you've not really towed much, starting off with a 7 foot wide, but then again it's also that thing of actually, if you've never towed before, you don't know any difference. So if you just jump into an 8 foot wide, you don't know any difference, do you?
True.
So
you've got to get used to it.
Yeah, exactly. Nice big fridge freezer again in this one, so we've got the tall fridge freezer. I don't know where the where's it taken the freezer door? The freezer door's gone.
Oh.
Somebody stole the freezer door.
Oh, there it is.
It's in the cupboard. Should put that back on. I don't know why that is on. We've next got on the Bluetti. So we're going to have a quick look. We've got a Caravan to test and check. So, freezer door back on. Don't know why that was off. So yeah, we've got the Bluetti now coming up. So, a brilliant gadget for your caravan, your camper. This can, obviously you've got to spend out there about £1,000, maybe just over, depending on what offers are on.
This one is, gosh.
Yeah, so 2 kilowatts of battery power. Again, exact price and link coming up on the right hand side. Probably be up there on the right hand side.
Your right hand side,
yeah,
my left hand side.
I'm not sure, can't
camera
remember.
left or camera right?
Can't remember. Can't
one
remember.
of the two.
One
Just
of the
point
two.
in both directions. Put both your hands up.
So it's in one of those corners. So Bluetti. So we've got external power sockets on here, so we can run our mains electric. The little screen will give us our battery mode. It will tell us how many watts we're using. So currently we're just charging a battery up. So again, if you've got a motorhome and you haven't got the little charger or little booster that we showed on Friday's video, if you missed Friday's video, that's coming up now, and you need to actually charge your battery, and it might be that you need to charge your leisure battery on your Caravan, or it might be that you need to charge up your vehicle battery on your camper van. You can just get this out the boot of the car, plug in your charge unit, charge up the battery, or we can plug the mains into this, plug the mains in, turn on the Caravan power system and charge up the leisure battery through the Bluetti. Now we've got 2 kilowatts of battery storage power in here, so once that's fully charged, we've got 2 kilowatts of actual usable battery power, and that can be used on the 230 volts up to 2600 watts. So again, we'll be able to run our microwaves, we'll be able to run our heating systems, we can run our water systems, we can run our fridge. Everything can be done on this. This is powerful enough to do it. And if we back this up with some solar panels, when we've got a nice bit of sunshine, that's just going to keep trickling the battery, keeping that topped up, and we can be pretty much self-sufficient off grid up to about 2 kilowatts of use. For the DC, we've got the little cigarette type lighter, so we've got a little charger point that we need to use for that. We've got our input for our solar panels. Now we can actually put 1000 watts of solar panels into this. So if we've got the roof of the Caravan covered in solar panels, a bit like our lorry build, we've covered the back section of the roof. So we've got about 1200 watts, I think it is, of solar panels on the roof. So our 3 kilowatt, we've got the 3 kilowatt batteries of the Bluetti on the lorry. So that's just literally every 3 hours, as long as we've got the sun, it's recharging that battery up. So we're pretty much self-sufficient, hopefully, with that lorry.
What's the little flap on the side?
So the little flap on the side, we've got the normal input, so we can plug in for our sort of charger, so when we get home to charge it back up. Now Bluetti have also done a DC charger that we can run off the battery off the car vehicle, so it's going to run through your alternator from your car as you're driving along. We can then plug this in with our solar input, and that's going to keep this charged up as we travel around. So if you've got your Caravan and you're using it off grid and you're going out for the day, you can actually then use the little charger unit that Bluetti supply, plug this in as you go off during the day, and that will then recharge this Bluetti as you're driving around. So a really another great feature that you can do, and again same on your camper van, you can then do that, wire it into your camper van battery as you're driving around. That will be charging this up, so when you get back to site you've got another full power of battery power that you can then go off and use, and you should be okay through the night depending on how much power that you're going to use. If we're just going out for the day, we've then got our outputs here as well, so we can use our USB-Cs, our USB sockets, and that can power up different things as we need to through the day. So a really good product as a backup to use if you're not going to go onto the campsite and pay for the electric. This is going to save you money. And then just for everyday use, going to the storage yard, we can run things through. The other great thing on this, what I really like, is when I now go inside of the Caravan and I start powering things up, it's actually going to tell us what we're using. So a few weeks ago we looked at the Swift command system, yeah, and we could use our AC panel on the newer sort of control panel on the Swift. It will tell you how much power things are drawing. So if we put the fridge on and heating system, our water heater, it'll give us a reading. So again, another nice way that at the storage yard we can actually check everything is working on the 230 volt and drawing the ampage or watts that it should be drawing. So a really good power unit. Let's have a look at it inside the Caravan and just see what we can actually power up. So when we then put our power unit on the Swift, you'll see that our heating system, again we've got our mains on so we can run our heating system. We're charging up the leisure battery, so if I press power, we've got 14.3 volts coming in now from the charger on the Caravan, so again that'll just keep the charger on the Caravan working. We can then run our fridge on the mains power because we're running off the Bluetti. We can run our heating, we can run our hot water. So a really, really nice way to actually run the Caravan completely off grid. We don't need a power point anywhere near, and we can save a little bit of money when we're on site. Now, continuing our theme of the 8 foot wide, we've got another Bessa car at 8 foot wide, and this is the bargain of the century. This is our absolutely bargain of the month of March 2019, 22,995. This is,
oh wow, this is lovely for the money.
Unbelievable value for money.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely ridiculous value for money, to be fair. So we've got 8 foot wide again, so it's just absolutely huge. But with having our side bed, it actually just opens the Caravan up so much. Still nice sized bathroom at the back, but yeah, absolutely stunning. I need to check the price on this and just make sure that we've actually priced it right, to be honest with you, because it just seems
look at the size of that fridge freezer.
Too cheap.
Huge.
Again, massive fridge freezer.
Wow.
It's literally just come into it. It's not been cleaned or anything as yet. No motor moves or anything like that. But again, all of your normal sort of Bessa car refinements, basically. Huge fridge freezer, worktops. The speakers in the bathroom, extractor fan in the bathroom. It's got everything. Absolutely unbelievable value, and I don't think this will be available much longer than this weekend, to be honest. I've got somebody already quite keen on it.
I suppose it's 6 years old now, isn't it? Which is quite a few years old, but you can't tell, can you?
Yeah.
But that's why it's the price that it is, isn't it?
Yeah. But again, I think if you look online, about 25 grand was about the cheapest for one of these. Yeah.
Look at that.
Unbelievable value.
Smart cooker as well.
So yeah, absolutely ridiculous value for money, these.
And the upholstery is beautiful.
Yeah, really. But again, that sort of shows you how the market's gone. And again, the 835 again is 29,995 for that. So considering 3 years ago, they were sort of getting on. Well, I think we sold an older one of those 2 years ago for about 40 grand, didn't we? And that was used.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. Another one that's just come into, it's just in the middle of cleaning. Got our new sold signs. Have a look at our new sold signs.
Look at that. He's put one up.
So it started going through, we've got some new sold signs. So just a bit more of a jazzy sold sign.
You'd be all right on The Apprentice, wouldn't you?
So no, I'd be fired after the first week. I'd have been sacked already. So another one that's just coming, little Sprite Major 6, is just in the middle of cleaning this. This has got an awning and a few bits and bobs with it as well. But a nice family van at 11,995, 2015. Nice washroom at the back. So yeah, just
decent size, that washroom, considering it's just up the corner.
Yeah,
it's
good size. Good size,
really.
So yeah, that's just come in. A tip that I forgot, and I was going to do it when we got our Bluetti. So mains cables. Sometimes you're going to go on site and you're going to have a big 25-metre mains cable like this one here going across, so you can power that van up to clean it. And you're going to be quite close to the post, so you need to make sure that you've uncoiled your mains cable. If this cable is kept coiled up and you sort of just throw it under the Caravan to try and keep it nice and neat, there's going to be heat built up within that mains cable. So we want to make sure that even if the post is right next to the Caravan and we're plugged into the mains electric, we still want to run the cable up and down in sort of a straight line and a decent distance away. There's no heat going to build up in this cable then, and it's not going to cause us any problems. So if you're fairly new to Caravan, just something to bear in mind, make sure that that mains cable is nice and sort of uncoiled. You've not got it in a big coil, because it is going to create heat and potentially cause a fire. Is there any issues that you come up across? We've tried to cover the majority of the issues the last couple of months now. If you go back through our videos, we sort of looked at getting the Caravan ready to use it going away, making sure that we're not going to have any problems. But again, things can crop up. So is there any problems that have cropped up in your sort of first couple of weeks getting the van out, getting it used, what the problems have been, and then have you been able to fix it, and can we give you any tips and hints of how to do that? So let us know in the comments, and again, we'll try and cover that next week's video. Don't forget, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark at the Caravan Place.